that I am so much funnier when people are drunk.
Let's get some shots.
No, just kidding. All right, Jacob Harkins here. We are in downtown Detroit at Michael Symon's Roast. From what I understand, and can't wait to explore, an insanely awesome steakhouse in downtown Detroit. I'm here with Joseph Allerton. He is a somm and the general manager of this fine establishment. So thank you for taking some time.
Thank you, Jacob. Yeah, excited about telling everyone about Detroit and what we do here.
Awesome. So most importantly, when I find out that someone is working at a high-end steakhouse and is a somm and has been at this restaurant for 10 years, I want them to pick out some good wine to get us going. So can you tell me what you have in front of us?
Yeah, sure. It was a hard choice today, but I thought I would go with one of my new recent passions. And I recently fell down the rabbit hole of how great Willamette Valley, Oregon Pinot Noirs can be. And this is one of my favorites currently. This is Montinore's Graham's Block 7 Vineyard Pinot Noir. It's 2013 vintage from Willamette Valley, Oregon.
Well, I just got off a plane. I am terribly thirsty. So cheers. Yeah. Thank you for hosting us. All right, so I'm going to put you on the spot. 10 words or less. What are you thinking about this wine?
Well, tart, rhubarb, red cherry, and strawberry. There's also like a fennel character to it, some green tea, little briny minerality to the wine, and a touch of white pepper. It's pretty soft, light, and just little soft, edgy tannins to the wine.
So that was about 38 words, give or take, but that happens all the time. To me, this was actually a really surprising take on a Pinot Noir. I wasn't kind of expecting that tartness that picked up, so really, I'm enjoying this. This is also a stress reliever. I would love to have this with some food, but it's a stress reliever. I went on about 45 words too, so we're all good there. I'm so curious. Detroit, it's the city that everyone talks about, but nobody knows anything about except for the people who live here. Tell us something about this city that you're proud of, that someone might not know.
Well, I think one of the things I'm most proud of and inspired by in this city is the history of talented musicians contributing to the world of music.
Yeah.
And more recently, electronic music is a really big deal, and we invented techno here. So that's something I'm very proud of, and also I think just the media tends to showcase us in a negative light,
right.
And I think that's changing a little bit from what I understand globally and internationally. You know, really there's a lot of positive energy, a lot of positive things happening here, and it really is safe. Especially in the downtown area, like any city, there's some neighborhoods that might be less safe.
Absolutely, and that's why I was actually excited to come here, because this idea that I've heard of this resurgence, this energy in the city that I wanted to see firsthand. Not that I have anything to compare it to, but so far so good. We've been enjoying it. Now, the foodie and wino at heart wants to know, what's the dining scene like here?
Well, it's really growing very quickly. Lots of new restaurants and bars, and craft cocktail is a really big thing here. There's a lot of energy in that scene. We're seeing a lot of growth in the upscale casual, and a lot of like little small plates, very good value-driven restaurants that are pretty concise in what they offer without having like too large scope beverage programs, but very focused.
Now, you guys have been here a decade, give or take a couple days.
Yeah.
Tell me about how Michael Symon's Roast plays into this vibrant scene that you're seeing come about.
Well, I think, definitely we were a big part of the beginning of this, of when it really turned the corner. We opened this hotel in 2008, luxury hotel, very large scale operation with a fine dining restaurant in it. A lot of people thought, how's that going to work? It hasn't worked, in a long time. And after a few years, we gained momentum, and there's a lot of attention on us, and we couldn't have been busier. And then it was only a matter of time before other people started to take risks and open some higher-end restaurants and have a little bit more fun in the restaurant and dining scene.
So you essentially planted the flag to prove that good food was possible. Not good food was possible, but people would come to see good food in Detroit.
Yeah, there was not a lot going on down here 10 years ago, and right now it's just really spreading, in all directions from the heart of the city.
Now by drinking this and hearing why you selected this, I understand that the wine scene, the wine list here is probably near and dear to your heart. You're the somm, the GM, all that stuff. Us selfishly, we love to see big, beautiful wine displays like you have behind your bar. Tell us about the interaction point and how that plays into kind of people's experience with your wine list here.
Well, the wine cellar here is definitely has quite a statement. When you walk in the restaurant, it's the center of attention. It's all lit up and raised above the bar, behind the back bar, and also it draws a lot of attention when people do order a bottle of wine and we walk up those stairs and go and select that bottle of wine. You're on display. It's all encased in glass, and it is beautiful and definitely adds to the ambience of the experience.
Makes your job a little easier to get people at least excited about the wine. Anyway.
My favorite question is the stairs to it are pretty subtle, so people are always like, how did you get up there?
Well, we're going to have to go take a tour of that when we're done with here. And I'm going to wrap this up with, I love the fine dining, the wine, but I'm really curious. My favorite pizza place in Denver is called Blue Pan Pizza. You probably know where I'm going with this now. It's a Detroit-style pizzeria in the heart of Mile High City. I don't know if it's authentic. I just know I like it. So, if you would just, what is Detroit-style pizza? Like, brief.
One of our old chefs likes to call it fried focaccia with toppings on it, but definitely a thicker crust and gets really crispy on the edges and kind of fluffy like focaccia in the center. And then the toppings are pretty traditional to what pizza is. We're not putting the toppings under the cheese really like Chicago does.
That weird stuff in Chicago. Stay away from Chicago pizza, Detroit pizza.
So there's actually this new pizza company here called Pie-Sci, which opened I think just a little over a year ago, and they have taken that Detroit style. They have that thick crust style pizza, and they've been very playful with the toppings, even with the namings of those pizzas that they offer on their menu. They change their menu seasonally, and they oftentimes the names of those pizzas are puns that are relative to the ingredients, and they oftentimes are music inspired too, which is kind of interesting.
Is that downtown as well?
Yeah, it is. It's pretty close to here, only about 2 miles, if that, kind of north.
So would that be your go-to spot for Detroit style? I guess modern Detroit style.
Everyone knows Buddies and Jets are the kind of the what started that trend, I believe. But I think that Pie-Sci has taken it to another level, and I'm really excited to see how that company evolves. I mean, this is their first store, and look how fast Jets has grown and
That's
Buddies.
Great, yeah. So I guess what we're learning here in our first 24 hours on the ground in Detroit is fine dining is possible here, good food and wine is possible, excellent wine cellar design is possible, and forget Chicago, come here for pizza too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having us in. Cheers.
Cheers, Jacob.
And we will see you again soon after we finish this decanter filled with wine.